morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for coming live to be part of this conversation today. So, wherever you are, please let me know in the comments section, just where you're watching from. Just let me know. Okay, so this is not my usual performance tools LinkedIn Live, where I bring in thought leader to have conversation around that topic of interest. But today, this live session is actually it's a teaser. I've designed it as a teaser, a pre-course session, because later this month, precisely on the 27th of August, and also on the 4th of August, I'll be running an HR Virtual Masterclass that I've titled Reinventing Performance Management, People over Process. Okay, so, but today, basically, I want to sell to you. So that's the essence of, I need to come very clear to you. I want to sell to you, and what I'm doing basically is to let you see the compelling reason why you should sign up for this course, why you should register for this course. At the end or in between the my conversation today, I'm going to put up the registration link where you can register for this course. So today, like I said, the conversation is going to be around 9 common problems with performance management systems in organizations. Okay, there is going to be 9 common problems with performance management systems in organizations. So this course is for you if you are in any way an HR professional, you're a talent management talent management professional or talent development professional. If you have anything to do with performance management data, this course is for you. Also, if you are a line manager, some call them people manager or supervisor, who are responsible for managing other people's performance. Also, this course is also designed for managers. There's a module here in the course that I titled M syndrome. How managers can, manage performance better than what we currently have. So now I'm going to talk about the 9 common problems with performance management systems in organizations. In my book, I'm also writing a book on that. There's also a course. That's the essence of this course. I argue that all organizations, as we are right now, must reinvent their performance management system. You will agree with me that performance management system is one activities in our organizations that people don't really like. Research upon research, I've also carried out quite a number of research to confirm that it's one element of HR work that people don't like. Most especially, it comes with a lot of issues around layoff, around promotion, around all of that. But my argument is that even because of the period that we are in right now, because of the business transformation as a result of COVID, my argument is that all organizations, no matter what you do, you must reinvent your performance management system to move from, most especially from process-oriented to people-centric. Yeah, from process-oriented to people-centric. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the 9 common problems that I have seen with performance management systems in organization. Let me say, in the course, there are actually 96. In this course, there are actually 96 common problems of performance management systems But so I'm just going to mention 9, so that are common that we have seen. And out of that 96, I've distilled those 96 problems into 5 common themes. I'm sure also if you register for the course, you are going to get to see, or you are going to get to know, these problems that you should watch out for, and you should also try as much as possible to eliminate. In my book, I talk about it that the problem with performance management is really not what we see basically. It's because of 2 things. It's because of the design, the way performance management system is being designed, then also because of implementation. I mean, we're going to get to see that as well if we register for the course. So I'm going to talk today about those 9 common problems that we see. So the number one here is the cultural factor. Cultural factor from the world, from the world culture, culture. So to a layman out there watching this, so you may want to ask, what is culture? Organizational culture is just the way we work here, the way we behave here, the way we do our things here. The culture of company A will never be the same with the culture of company B, and that's what we have. So, but one thing that I have seen repeatedly is that one critical success factor to any performance management system initiative is the company culture. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not take that into cognizance. So your culture determines everything around your performance management system. Yes, from the way you structure your goals, from the way you put in place your measuring system. When I say measuring system, uh, um, the balance scorecard, the smart, this traditional smart system that we have, the MBO, management by objectives, or also the OKRs that we know. So one thing I would say around culture is that when you fail to connect your culture and the performance management is initiative that you have in place, that you want to put in place, when you fail to connect the two together, I can tell you that's going to be the problem from the beginning. So let me give you an example. So imagine a company or an organization who says they want to use OKR. OKR simply means objective key result. Okay, so this organization wants to use OKR. There are certain tenets or there are certain basic principles about OKR, which is it's a measurement tool whereby you are able to set your objectives and you have those key results, how you want to measure the objectives. So one thing is key here. One, accountability. So those objectives are clear to virtually every stakeholder, both your CEO, the managers, the HR, and all that. And you are beginning to track. You are beginning to track those objectives. But when you have an OKR system in place, and you don't get to maybe the senior management team, they feel that they are not accountable to the junior management, to the junior team rather. So I can tell you that's a fundamental flaw. It's going to fail. Or you have a system whereby there's no transparency, where goals are set and people don't get to even know some of these goals, maybe just set at the management level, and you claim to be using OKR. I can tell you it's going to fail big time. Or you have a what is called balance scorecard in place. Balance scorecard is also a tool that is used to set strategic objectives. So the tenet of balance scorecard is also rest on four things: financial perspective, customer perspective, internal processes, then also learning and growth. So if you want to use balance scorecard, and you don't have a way to, set your overarching strategic objectives. Maybe you don't even get to. I've seen organizations whereby people will I will ask, so what exactly is your strategy? And they keep telling me a lot of things. And when I ask, what kind of measurement tool do you use? Also, when they say balance scorecard, and I'm trying to make a connection between the two. You don't have a strategy in place that you have set that almost everybody understand, even to the lower cadre within the organization, to the topmost, you know, to the CEO, because it must be as fluid as that people can easily understand. But when you don't have those strategic objectives in place, and you're telling me that you are using balance scorecard, definitely there's a disconnect. Or when I ask basic things about your values, you claim to say, okay, transparency is one of your values, and things are done in secrecy. People don't get to know what happens. People don't get to give one another feedback, most especially from bottom up. Then I can tell you that your performance management system is going to fail. So that's number one. It's very critical. It's very critical. You must understand the culture, the cultural factor, before you go about before you go about designing and implementing your performance management system. The other one, the number two here, I mean, it's virtually what we see in organizations, untrained managers and leaders. So I see this repeatedly because most of the time I snoop around managers. I hold conversations with managers. And when I see managers that are trained, I can easily differentiate them from managers that are not trained. Please do not implement any performance management system if you have not trained your managers, or you've heard it now. The next thing for you to do is to begin to gauge the level of the skill level of managers when it comes to managing performance. It's a skill. It's a skill that most managers do not have. And you cannot blame them. Most of them were actually promoted into managerial level, to supervisor, to middle management level, because they were not prepared. The system didn't prepare them for it. That's what I titled M syndrome. I put it forward that a lot of managers are actually suffering from that M syndrome. It's a sign and symptoms. That is, that virtually all managers are grappling with. So most managers, researchers, a lot of research out there confirm that most managers, about 90% of managers, do not know how to manage performance. From holding conversation, from communication to giving feedback, then even to as simple as even rating. So it's shown that most managers are usually very biased when it comes to performance rating, appraising their reportees and all of that. And we've seen that play out. If you've been following news all around the world recently, there was a post on LinkedIn about last week. Someone posted that it was fired, and he probably didn't know the reason why it was fired. The video of that pastor in one of the churches here in Nigeria that went viral. A pastor in one of the popular churches who was fired, and he said, see, the moment one of the stakeholders begin to feel that the system is not fair, then you need to begin to think about reinvention. But in this case now, manager, the truth is that if your manager is really managing the performance conversation very well with you, you shouldn't be surprised, really, anything that happens to you, whether you are fired, whether you are promoted, whether you are not promoted, and all of that, most especially for those of us who are still using performance management to judge, to determine a whole lot of things. Then another common problem here is lack of executive management support in the process. So we get to see also that in most organizations, the executive management team believes that HR should be responsible for performance management. Let me say this: performance is management. Performance is management responsibility. Yeah, HR is just on the sideline. HR, the responsibility of HR in performance management conversation initiative is just about maybe 25%. Yeah, management is responsible for driving performance. So you see most organizations, I get to hear that, oh, our CEO, our top management team, they are busy. They don't know, they don't have the time. One of the ways where your performance management system will not work is when the executive team doesn't want to own this performance management process. Is actually the responsibility of the executive team to own this process. The managers are just responsible for execution of strategy and also to manage this performance, but managing the support of the executive team in the success of your performance management is very, 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 very important. Okay, so that's number 3. Let me show you others, or let's have conversation around others. The other one is no linkage between the what, which is the goals, and the how, competencies. Most of the time, we get to see this, or I get to see this. When I ask that, so when we set KPIs for people, which are the goals, when we set objectives for people, to say that, oh, okay, I want you to achieve, to bring in these sales target figures. I want you to, the customer service, I want you to improve on it, and all of that. What we don't get to see is the how. And a responsible organization, a responsible system that is developed, a good system also must talk about the how. And how, basically, it's about your competencies, the skills, the behaviors, the knowledge needed to achieve those goals. So imagine you've given someone a target of XYZ dollars or naira, and this person does not have the requisite skills to achieve performance. So it becomes counterproductive. So how does it, or how does she go about achieving that? So we see this a lot of time, that most organizations, when they set performance targets for people, which is more like the goals, they don't get to discuss the how. It's a problem. Once you don't discuss the how, I can tell you that your system is set up for failure from the beginning. Okay, now let's get to another one here. I put it here that conflicting and multiple uses. I know this one. I'm going to steer a lot of. It's going to cause a little bit of. Some people may want to say, no, this is not so. Let me put it here straightforward to you that your performance management system must actually be designed to solve just few problems. 3, in fact, I put it, so first of all, your performance management system must be designed not to solve several problems. So, because most of the time, we use performance management system to do so many things. It's what we use for promotion, what we use for demotion, what we use for transfer sometimes, what we use for gain sharing or profit sharing, We use it for so many things, which we call judging. We use it to judge people a lot. Even we use it for training and all of that. I mean, so now my argument here is that do not use your performance management system to solve more than three problems. Yes. So the moment you have a performance management system, is what you use for promotion, what you use for demotion, what you use for gain sharing, and all of that. It becomes confusing. It conflicts with other things. Yes. So don't use it for multiple things. Um, like we know and like we say, performance management system, it is not just an element of HR that you want to do haphazardly, because the essence of any business is performance, whether even business, whether for profit or not non-profit. I mean, Peter Drucker said something that the focus of the organization must be on performance. So if you remove the performance equation from what we do in organization, I mean, the essence of starting a business, the essence of even running a social business or non-profit, faith-based, and all of that, it's when you remove performance from the conversation, then we're more like I mean, we're more or less not working. I mean, maybe it's just a leisure. There's nothing to achieve at the end of the day. So I put it here that the focus of the organization must be on performance. And for the focus of the organization to be on performance, designing your performance management system must actually be to help solve few problems per time. So as soon as you're able to solve those business challenges, then move on to the next. And that's the latest thinking around performance management system. It's not the process that we have, where the focus is more on the forms, the rating, and all of that. Your performance management system must actually be designed to solve business challenges. And business challenges like, so for example, your organization is not, the selling is poor. So, I mean, you have poor sales, your financial growth is stagnated or something. I mean, those are business challenges that you can, or you have people who do not have the required competencies to be able to perform out there. I mean, those are business challenges that you need to focus your performance management system on. That's number 5. Number 6 is rules and processes over people. So that is what we get to see. The focus is more on the rules and processes over people. It's very, very disheartening. When I see people or professionals such that the focus is more on the people, the focus is more on the focus is more on the processes as against the people, then I'm going to say from the beginning, I'm going to know from the beginning that that system is doomed to fail. So it's not about your planning, all the things you put in place, your planning, your planning, agreeing upon goals and all of that. What I put here is that your performance management system must start with people and also must end with people. In fact, it must be around, from what I'm working on. So most of the time, the focus is around strategic plan and all of that. But we need to flip that process. The focus is actually must be the starting point of performance management system must be on the why of your performance. Why do you need performance management system in the first place? So then you begin to tie it to the business challenges. Yeah, which usually may be around your some of your goals and all of that, but should be around your business. It's a performance management system is a great tool if used very well, can actually change your game. In all aspect of your business and all of that. So you need to be able to. It's not about the rules. The rules. When I say the rules, it's not about the appraisal. Yeah, as much as I'm not advocating that appraisal should be eliminated, I'm still in support of it. But it's not about the appraisal. It's not about the form that we carry about. It's not about filling forms. No, not about that. It's not about the judgment, judging people and all of that. Your performance management system should actually be designed to help the organization solve the business challenges, and actually should be designed around you know around people and all of that. I put I put it here that human needs are kept at the center of performance management. Yes, human needs are kept at the center of performance management. Your work as HR manager, your work as a line manager, um, or those responsible for designing performance management system, is actually must be rooted in people. So when we say rooted in people, what are those things? We're talking about uh, we're talking about in the moment feedback, check-in. Most managers, if you don't train your managers, they may not even know what conversation to hold with their people when it comes to performance management. Ongoing coaching, it's also part of what you should put in your, the way you should design your performance management system. Uh, Near-term employee objectives is also part of what you should put there. Then also assessment. The suggestion now is that the assessment should rather even move away from individual and focus on team, because the best way to attack the best way to solve problems now within organization is actually through network of teams, as against the silo system that we have in our organizations. Then, of course, also regular recognition. You must recognize people regularly for small and meaningful. It could be small. It could be as small as praising people. It's not necessarily time, financial reward to performance management. Those are some of the things you need to know. You will know when when you sign up for this course. Whether you should remove financial reward from performance management system, or you should leave it. I'm going to let you know what is good and the best practice around that. So that's number 6. Now we're going to number 7, which is no developmental and performance follow up. No developmental and performance follow up. So most of the time, because the focus is more on the process, as against the people, most organizations do not have a developmental program in place. Then also how to follow up on how someone can get better. See, the analogy I put forward is that the way performance management system should be designed should be likened to the relationship between a coach in a football, a coach and the players. I haven't seen a player, or I haven't seen that coach who does not want his players to win on the pitch. I haven't seen. It's very rare out there. So your performance management approach must be very similar to the role of coaches in sport. Yeah, even in other sports. So when you see a Mourinho or any of these coaches out there, they are giving almost, feedback in order to make their players get better. So you hardly see a manager, a coach now in I mean, using the term coach now, who doesn't want who doesn't want any of his players to get better in terms of improving on his skills, how to play free kick, how to play penalty, how to do that. And the same thing is what we should translate into the organization. That's what it should be. So as managers, or as when you're designing your program, the focus must be on developmental programs. In fact, some people put it here that the focus of performance management, 75% of performance management conversation must be on development, while 25% must be retrospective. I mean, looking back and all of that. But most of the time, the focus is more on looking at the past things that have happened as against the things, the potentials that this person has, he or she has, in order to get better on the job. Then also the data from performance management conversation and all of that. Most organizations don't get to do anything with it. They just feel that, oh, okay, we've gathered the data, let's move on to the next one. No, you must weave developmental programs around it. And when I say developmental, it's around, on the job developmental programs. Maybe you have to reassign, you have to let someone learn on the job, put them on new assignment, put them on project, move them to a higher role where they can function better. I mean, those are developmental programs that we could put in place. That's number 7. Then let's go to number 8. We have here performance appraisals as an annual ritual. So in most organizations, performance appraisal is actually a ritual. And that is why most people do not like performance appraisal. In fact, when it's getting to that time of appraisal, a lot of employees usually develop cold feet, you know. But truth be told, if it's done the right way, performance appraisal should not be a period that generates a lot of conflict, because virtually all stakeholders to performance management systems do not like appraisal. Yeah, they don't like appraisal. Managers do not like it because it takes a lot of their time. Not only that, most managers don't always also want to give feedback to people. Don't want people to feel bad or something, or and all of that. Why employees don't also like it. Even the business owners, the CEOs of most organizations also do not like it. Even um, as much as some of them get to know that, oh, okay, maybe it's an avenue not to pay certain things or something. But the truth is that if it's working well, they will really be looking forward to it. There shouldn't be issues around it. There shouldn't be bickering around it, where someone says that, hey, this is what I think I've achieved, and the manager says, no, you have not achieved that. This is what you have achieved. So what we say in performance appraisal is that there shouldn't be surprises. You shouldn't, it shouldn't lead to a situation where someone will say that, oh, I'm contesting what the score that I've been given. No. When you have it as an ongoing conversation, in fact, in some organizations now, performance appraisal is actually being eliminated. Yes, they are eliminating performance management, performance appraisal. They are just making it very conversational. And of course, when you are not, when you are not, when you lack certain things, usually around skills and all of that, they provide a lot of interventions in order for you to get better. Feedback is ongoing. It's almost, it happens almost every day. There's what we call check-ins. They get to do check-ins almost on a weekly basis, where goals and objectives are being looked at, reframed, within the, in reality with the business environment and all of that. So performance appraisal shouldn't be an annual ritual. It shouldn't even be something that you do on a well, maybe formally within 3 weeks, within a quarter. But the truth is that review should be happening on an ongoing basis, most especially when that conversation is happening. Manager and the people that and his reportee, they are having an ongoing conversation. So by the time it's appraisal, it's just going to be a formal, formal event, such that there won't be so much of issues around it. So your performance appraisal should move from, if you are doing 1 year, move it to 6 months. If you are doing 6 months, move it to quarterly. Yeah, in fact, it's quarterly that a lot of organizations do formally now, most especially also depending on the organization, the sales cycle, the buying cycle, and all of that. So it shouldn't be an annual thing where manager set goals and everybody goes, no conversation, and will now converge again to then begin to talk about appraisal. It's a problem, and if that is what you have in your system, it's going to fail. Then the last one is absence of systematic objective method for gathering performance related data. Yes, when you don't have a system in place to help you capture data, performance data, I can tell you that your performance management system is doomed to fail. One, is going to be biased. Two, is going to be subjective. Okay. Three, it's not going to be accurate. So when you don't have a way to capture data, and that's what I tell people, so when you set goals for people, there should be a way to track those goals. So for example, I've given someone to go and sell 20 loaves of bread, that okay, you must sell 20 loaves of bread within a month or so. Uh, how do I capture what he sells on a daily basis? To be able to that at the end of the month, or at the end of the quarter, I will know the amount of bread he has sold. In fact, it's even very good for product. When we talk about service, most especially the number of for example, a company that is into manufacturing, a manufacturing company, who has a responsibility to improve on the quality of their product. How do you get to track what people do, the deliverables that people achieve at the end of the day? When you don't have a systematic system, a system in place to help you capture, to help you store, then to help you also interpret performance related data, you are prone to several things, because at the end of the day, when you rate people and people feel that what they have done is more than, what they deserve is more than what you've given to them, then issues begin to happen. We've seen people who are fired, who come to say that they were fired, you know, um, that determination of their employment, it's not based on it's not performance related. So when once you don't have a way to capture the data, to let the employees see that this is what he or she has done and this is the basis for taking such action, then your system will be subject to question. And I want us to know that when your system is subject to question, or people begin to raise issue over that, it can lead to a lot of litigations. Yeah, when people are fired, and it's not when they are fired, and they are fired on the basis of not achieving performance, and this person feels that, hey, I've not been properly, the process was not done, the process was not objective. Then when litigations come either from the court or the labor, and all of that, they begin to ask you for data. They begin to ask you for, they begin to look at your processes. So first of all, how's your rating like? So they begin to look for those things that are actually within your system, the element of your system that are not objective, and it could lead to a situation whereby you are being asked to, your organization is being asked to pay for damages and all of that. So these are just the nine common problems with performance management systems in organizations that we have seen. But like I said, there are about 96 of those problems that I've gathered the data in the last almost a decade ago now. I mean, I have my data working with organizations to diagnose. I've done a lot of performance management audit for organizations where I've diagnosed, I've designed, I have developed interventions for organizations. Then I've delivered quite a number of these interventions, and also help to drive the impact of these interventions around performance management. So there are about 96 of these problems, which we are going to look at about 23 of those problems when we take this course later this month. So if you want to be part of this course, please just go to www.incelconsulting.com. Then you will see HR Virtual Masterclass. Let me put it there, www.incelconsulting.com. It's going to, I'm going to put it, yes, you will see it now. Go to the website, you'll see where you can register for the course there. Please sign up for this course. It's going to change your game, most especially you are responsible for driving performance management within your organization. You are a manager, this course is for you. We're going to have conversation around how you can manage your team better, how you can have performance management conversation better. If you're an HR professional, a training, if you're a talent development professional who gets data from, who gets performance management data, this course is for you. You need to understand how it's designed. You need to understand how to also analyze performance data, because most of the time the focus is on training. But what we have seen, what we know is that performance issues are looked at. From three levels, three areas. So most of the time we focus on capability, and we neglect the other two levels, and that's why most of the time our training programs, our developmental programs, don't get to achieve results. If you're an OD specialist where you are responsible for improving, for designing, for implementing performance management system data within your organization, please, this course is for you. If you're an IT specialist within organization that you get to tweak, you get to design tools, this course is for you. I'm going to tell you, there's a course that there's a module in this course where we're going to use a framework that I call USA framework. How you need to understand, how you need to simplify these performance management problems, then how you can automate. It's called the USA principle of automating performance management. I mean, these are the things that I've spent a huge amount of time, huge amount of hours putting these tools and and all these things together. And if you also maybe you're starting your career in HR and you want to specialize in performance management system, this course is for you. This course is for you. I mean, performance management system is due for reinvention in virtually all organizations. It's due for reinvention, and this is what we don't get to see. And one of the reasons why organizations don't get to achieve performance. So thank you so much. If you are interested in this course, and like I put forward there also, if you feel that you need discount, I mean, there's a 15% discount on this course, and please let me know because the seats are filling up quickly, and we have a limited amount of people that we can take on this course. So thank you so much. If you have any question, please drop your questions for me. I'll take time to attend to some of your questions out there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. See you on another day. Thank you.